Welcome to this week's installment of Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. Now, before I get to this week's topic, I want to send out a big thank you to the cast and crew of The Land of Promise. This is the show that I just closed on Saturday at the Red Sandcastle Theatre. And I want to thank the crew down at Red Sandcastle for doing a wonderful job. I'd like to thank Snowdrop Productions and Theatre Double Take for producing this show, for casting me in this show, and finally I want to thank the wonderful group of actors who I had the opportunity to work with in this production. Thank you, it was a pleasure, and thank you to our audiences who came out because we had great houses through the entire 2-week run. It's been a wonderful experience and I look forward to the next time I can work with you all. And now, on to this week's topic of Thoughts from the Green Room, which is rejection. As an actor, I face rejection all the time. In order to get a role, what I have to do is I submit my headshot and resume. The powers that be say, hey, we'd like to see this guy. They call me up and say, come on in. I prepare a monologue or two. Maybe sometimes I prepare a section of the script for them, and I go in and I do a reading for them. They then take a look at what I did, pair me up with other people, and make a decision as to whether or not they can put me in the role. Now, typically, in today's industry, they don't send you any feedback or notice. If you don't get the job, you just don't get the job. A couple weeks go by, you haven't heard anything, it went to somebody else, you go and see the play when it comes out and has been finished, and you go, that's who got it. In the olden days, I understand they sent out rejection letters, and a great story, the great Robin Williams, I understand once wallpapered an entire room in New York when he was a struggling actor with rejection letters. Urban myth, I'm not sure, but there you have it, one of the fun stories. And regardless of all that, every now and again, even a day, they send you a note. Sometimes say, hey, you were awesome, you were great, and you just don't quite, whatever. So I've wanted to work with a certain company for a long period of time. I submit to them regularly, and this year I was finally awarded an audition. I was so excited. Told me to come in and do my stuff. I prepared. I worked hard, I set myself up for it, and I went in ready. The audition went fabulous. They laughed at the right spots, they cried at the right spots, they took the t-shirt home, if you will, and at the end they said, thank you very much for your time, that was quite well, and they sent me off. Every now and again, they let you know that you didn't get it. And 2 hours later, I got an email that said, thank you, you're not quite right for this season, submit next year. It's pretty short and sweet, and I was crushed. And I was just, wow. Now, I normally don't get affected by not getting a part, but this part crushed me. It's like, oh, I put in so much time, so much effort, so much energy. Why didn't it work? And after being crushed for a little while, I started to turn over and I started to become grumpy. And in being grumpy, I was not suited to be around anybody. I didn't go out that night. I stayed at home. I watched a movie with my kind of face on all night, and I was just not pleasant. I went to sleep in a bad mood. I got up the next morning in a bad mood. And partway through the day, I was realizing I just still wasn't good to be around people, and I had to figure this out. So I had to sit down with myself for a little while, and I had to think about it for a bit. And I realized, as I was thinking through things, that I was feeling grumpy and I was feeling crushed because I had put in a lot of work and energy, and I really wanted that specific gig, and I didn't get it. I was more vested in this one than other ones, if you will. And all that buildup had been swept away from me, and it left me feeling grumpy. And I thought, man, I did so much hard work, and I paused. And that was it. That was the key right there. It clicked when I said it that time. I did so much hard work. Now, as an artist, and then I paused again, I thought, no, as an anybody. All you can ask of yourself is, did I do the best? Did I put in the work necessary to come out at the best I can possibly be? And if the answer is yes, then it's all you can expect. So in this industry, being the best you can be doesn't always fit, because maybe I was too short to be cast against the leading lady who's 6 foot, or maybe I was too thin for the other thin guy who was on stage and needed somebody who was more portly. Who knows? There are various other factors involved that make the mix in this industry. It's not just about what you put on the stage. And I had to take a look and go, did I do my best? Yes, I did. Did I prepare properly? Yes, I did. How do I know I'm suitable, that my best will work? It's because I've been cast before. This just wasn't the right mix. And as soon as I accepted that and thought, as long as I'm doing my best, all is good, and I was fine. So this challenge that I send out to you this week, ladies and gentlemen, is, did you do your best? When you are faced with rejection, can you say, I did my best? I'm sure that you experience rejections on small and big levels every day of the week. So next time you're faced with some form of rejection, take a second and find out if you did your best and see if you can accept it and let it go. Because there's no point in being grumpy. There's your challenge for this week. That is your thoughts from the green room, and I will see you all in 1 week.